Hello, friends. Welcome back to Swagger Says. It's been a while. I've been making videos about things that aren't Swagger Says, and I thought, wow, that's a lot of effort that I'm putting into things that aren't just me sitting on a couch and talking about fucking nothing in particular. So we're gonna correct that with this new episode of Swagger Says. Hope you like it, and if you don't, fuck off. I don't need you, bitch. I've been reading this book called The Stand by Stephen King, and it's about this super virus that wipes out 99% of the world's population, so everyone just fucking dies. And it's a really long ass book. It's like 1,200 pages. The uncut version is, which is the one I'm reading, because the original came out in like the 80s or some shit, and I wasn't even a drunken glint in anyone's eye at that point. But I thought it sounds like a pretty cool book, so I read it. But what I didn't realize, or what I realized too late, and I can't really be blamed for it, is that it's a fucking fantasy book. 400 pages in, everyone starts having prophetic dreams, and there's like magic and shit. And I thought, wow, I kind of set myself up for this like horror thriller where everyone's dying of flu, and then 400 fucking pages into it, which is a whole other goddamn book. That's like two fucking books worth of pages. Everyone starts having dreams about this old woman and an evil person, and that's what's guiding them to fall in underneath these two different banners. And I thought, wow, could you not have introduced the magic a little earlier in the novel, so I'm not a whole fucking book into this book thinking it's going to be science fiction and now suddenly there's magic? It's kind of immersion breaking. It's it's like when Superman wears glasses, and people always fucking hate. They're like, "Wow, that's a really stupid disguise that you're wearing glasses." And people say, "Yo, why are you fucking talking about Superman wearing glasses as his disguise being stupid? You know he can fly around and shoot laser beams out of his eyes, right?" And I say, "Yes, but that's the thing. We're suspending our disbelief to the point where we can accept that there's a magic man called Superman who can shoot lasers out of his eyes and be super strong, but in the Superman universe, everyone is still a normal person, and normal people aren't fooled by a single pair of glasses. You can't just that's ridiculous." And it's sort of the same thing. It's like why I understand. I'm getting that there's a super flu and everyone's fucking dead, but well, why does that also mean magic? And it's clear that Stephen King wants me to be a Christian because there's so much fucking. I understand that it's a Christ allegory. He was setting out to make a Christ allegory, but when you get there's a point like 900 pages in where the old woman just heals someone's back. There's a girl with a back injury, and she's like, "Your God is evil," and the old woman grabs her, and she goes, "Ah, ah," and magic shoots through her, and she's healed. She's like, "Oh, what did you do that for? Is your God trying to bribe me?" She's like, "Oh no, Jesus, go to church." I thought, yeah, okay, Stephen, I get it. There's Christianity's a thing. I understand. Could you just tell the rest of the fucking story, please? So that's kind of goofy. I finally set up the voicemail on my phone, but I forgot the password to get into my own voicemail, so I can't listen to anyone's voicemails, which is kind of a good thing because the only person that calls me is my mother. She always calls me instead of texts me, even if she's just gonna tell me something fucking stupid. It's like, why would you call me and try to have a 6 minute conversation with me about something that you could have just put in a text message and it would have taken 2 lines? I don't understand the rationale behind that. The only time she texts me, because she can't leave a message on my voicemail, so sometimes she'll send me a text message that says, "Could you call me, please?" And I'll call her. I'll say, "Hey, mom, what's going on?" And she said, "Hey, there's this thing at my house for you." It's like, there's like she bought me some fucking oil lamps a couple months ago, like just in case the power went out. I'm like, yeah, okay, I can kind of see how that's a good thing, but why did you need to call my phone and have a 6 minute conversation with me? I mean, you could have just sent me a text message that said, "I have some oil lamps for you." It's so fucking irritating. I'm I pride myself on being a fucking asshole. I can talk shit better than anyone that I know. But I'm also very empathetic. I cry when I listen to certain songs and watch like the beginning of Up, that movie. Up makes me cry. And when I listen to certain music like I Will Survive, when I listen to that song, I fucking cry because she's just so powerful singing. And I really empathize with shit like that, like certain music and watching things. Like I saw a picture of a kid that was this Holocaust kid. It was a picture of him taken when he was sent to Auschwitz, and one of the things that the Nazis did was they took studio photos of like all the Jews being really happy and like in neat situations and smiling and shit, so that they could kind of convince the populace that no, we're totally not gassing anyone. That concentration camps are a fun place where we all get together and play bingo. And it's this fucking 4-year-old kid who's smiling into the camera with like a whistle and a hole punch and a little thing in his hand. He's playing like train conductor, and it's a picture of a 4-year-old kid like days before he was put in the gas chamber. And I fucking cried just looking at that picture because I was just like considering, everything. The context of it just made me fucking break down. And it's weird because my dad is from Long Island, New York, and you'd be think that's where I get all of the asshole from, and so I must get all of the empathetic type shit from my mother because she's from the South. But that's not even true at all. My dad is actually kind of a fucking pussy. I get all of my cynicism from my mother. She's very evil. And my dad's just kind of like a bitch. I mean, I was talking to him one time several years ago, and I told him how much of a cunt that his wife was because she was a cunt, but she's dead now, so it doesn't matter. And he just didn't even do anything about it. I'm like, God, Dad, you're such a fucking pussy. There's this place in Florida. I think it's called Oakland Park or something. Uh, I don't remember exactly the name of it, but I went there to hang out with my uncle one time because he lives in Florida. He lives in Sarasota, but he was on the other side of Florida doing some work on this person's house, so I was chilling at this place in Florida that's, first of all, there's a lot of gay people there. It's probably the gayest place I've ever been in my life. I went to this gay ass restaurant called Rosie's. There was like a bunch of gay shit on the wall, and our server was this really gay dude, and I ate this really gay ass burger. It was fucking delicious. It's probably the best fucking burger I've had in my life. But and there was like gay shops and everything. But there's also a very large black population because a lot of the people that live there came from Colombia, and or it might have been. I don't think it was Sarasota. I'm pretty sure, but I went to this fucking McDonald's, and I was the only. There were two other white people in this McDonald's. All of the staff was black. All of the people were black, and so it's interesting just to experience what it's like to be a minority, to just be in a place where everyone's a different fucking color than you. So it is uncomfortable. Just it was just like whoa. It's just like feel like everyone's fucking looking at you because you're the black sheep or the white sheep in this case. Because I'm just a small white boy and there's a whole bunch of fucking black people in this place. And there was this one guy who was standing behind me in line, and he asked me for money, and I'm pretty agreeable and I'm pretty gullible, and I know you're not supposed to. That's like rule number one in living in the city is don't give anyone money. But sometimes I just like do shit impulsively, and I was like, yeah, here, take some money. And there was a cop in the McDonald's, so I gave him like $5 because I figured, what the fuck not? I don't have a job anyway, and like 2 minutes later after I'd got my food, I guess maybe he was feeling uncomfortable because there was a cop in the restaurant with him. And so he started talking to me like, it's like, I'm going to be at your dad's place to fix that thing soon. Like, I guess trying to pretend like he knew me because I guess he thought he had intimidated me into giving me that money when I just didn't really give a fuck. And I was like, dude, I don't fucking know you. Like, I gave you the money because you just asked for it. And I just kind of felt like being in a give someone money mood, but don't pretend like we know each other. Like don't fucking play that with me. Just take the $5 and be good that I was feeling like doing something on a whim at that particular moment. But like, don't pretend like you know me, you fucking dip ass. There was this other time some woman called to me in like an Ingles parking lot, and she was like, "I need gas money because I need to get somewhere," and her breath smelled like alcohol, and she had a baby seat in the back of her car. And she was talking like, I need to go see my kids or something. I need gas money or something. It was probably like 11 o'clock at night, and that I'm pretty 90% sure that that was bullshit. Um, and again, she smelled like alcohol. She'd probably been drinking like a lot, but it was just kind of one of those things. That, like I gave her $20. I was like, it's pretty likely that you're fucking lying to me right now, but there is also a small chance that you're just a really fucked up drunk bitch who actually needs some help right now. So I took a gamble. I'm middle class. I can give away $20. I don't give a fuck. So I hope you enjoyed that $20, drunk bitch, and have fun with that family that might not exist. So I talked before about some of the churches around my house that have really stupid shit on their billboards. They changed one of the houses I drive by on the way to work had changed it to something else. It was simply not believing in God will not make him go away. And yes, that's correct. Things don't cease to exist just because you don't believe in them. But it's also true that just believing in something doesn't make it exist. That's kind of a fucking worthless statement. I wish they would. Like, it's depressing. I'm like, do you not have a single fucking person in your church that knows how to do PR? Just put something sensible up, like, Jesus loves you. Is that there was one that I saw that was clever. It was like, it was during the summer, so it was really hot, and it said, "Too hot." This was on their billboard. It was like a Presbyterian church, and it said, "Too hot to change sign. Jesus equals good, sin equals bad." I thought, that's clever. That's fine. That's a good thing to put on a fucking church billboard. But it's just like this pretentious bullshit, like, just because you don't believe in God doesn't make him. It's like, yes, the opposite is also true, motherfucker. That's a worthless statement. That has no meaning to it. It's like if I can't, like, there's a lot, grass grows in the dirt. It's like, no shit, stupid. What's your fucking point? There was one, I was driving home the other day and I saw this woman standing in front of a church billboard on the sidewalk, and she was holding a sign that she'd drawn with magic marker on like a big ass sheet of white. What is that stuff called? Construction paper, billboard paper. I don't know what the fucking paper's called, but like sign holder people paper. And she had written justice on it, and she was standing in front of the billboard holding this sign up. And when I got closer to it, I realized it didn't say justice. It said justice. There was no T in it. So I don't know if she misspelled it or if it was someone's name or what. But that was the only fucking thing that was written on that sign. So I didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. She's just standing in front of the fucking billboard holding up this sign that doesn't make any goddamn sense. What the fuck is this bitch doing? It generally helps to know, like I don't know if that person is a hitchhiker. I don't know if they're protesting something. I don't know if they're it. What are you doing? You ever met one of those guys who treat women like equals? They're like, I believe men and women are equal and they should all be treated equally. Any of that fucking middle school philosophy nice guy bullshit? It's like, men and women are very different in a lot of ways. You can't be different and equal. That's a contradiction of terms. It makes no fucking sense. Like, men are larger and more aggressive, and women can make dudes do anything they fucking want until they hit age 30. We're different, okay? We're not the same fucking people. Like, if you walk up to a woman and breathe on her in the wrong way, congratulations, you're on the National Sex Offender Registry. You'll never get a fucking job for the rest of your goddamn life. And on the other side of that, if you're a man, you can, just beat the shit out of any woman you want, and they can't really do anything about it because they're small. It's like, we're different. We're not the same fucking person. There's differences. Perfect example. You ever have your mom or your girlfriend or your wife or something, you come home from buying groceries and she's like, you're probably going to have to take a second trip. And the first thing that pops into your head, bitch, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Do you think I'm going to come all the fucking way back down to this goddamn car and grab groceries and go all the way back up to the fucking fridge twice? Like, no. I'm going to take all these fucking groceries and put them on my arms and we're going to go up this fucking bitch once. I'm not coming back down to this fucking car. And they owe it every fucking time. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you could do that. Of course you didn't. Because you're a fucking woman and you've been living your whole life with those weak ass little baby jelly woman arms. I weigh 130 and I can still overpower my fucking mother and she's enormous. It's like chimpanzees. Chimpanzees weigh like 130 full grown and they can like bench 1,000 fucking pounds because their bodies are built differently. And men and women's bodies are built differently. Our brains are wired differently. Stop this fucking equality bullshit. We're not equal. We think differently, we act differently, we're built differently. And they're like, oh, we need to make everyone the same. I'm like, shut the fuck up, you dumbass. How long have you been living on this earth? You still don't know the difference between the sexes? Like, have you ever interacted with someone of the opposite sex before? You one of those dudes who just like fucking takes a girl out on a date and fucking agrees with her on everything so she has no fucking idea who you are as a person? And then gets real pissed off when she tells you she doesn't want a second date because she doesn't know any fucking thing about you. And you're like, oh my God, how could you do this to me? I'm such a nice guy. No, you're a weak-willed pansy bitch. People complain about how women always like bad dudes. They don't give a fuck. It's not about being a good guy or a bad guy. It's about whether or not you're goal-oriented. It's about whether or not you're confident. It's about whether or not you know what the fuck you want and how to fucking get it. That's what attracts people. That's what makes a man sexy, okay? It's not, oh, I'm gonna just pull out your chi and pull out your chair and fluff your pillow. Like a little fucking, like, she'd get a fucking butler if she wanted someone to do that for her. Be who the fuck you are. Stop trying to be someone you're not. Because that's why you're at home masturbating every fucking day. Because women can smell the like pansiness on you and they say, I would much prefer a man who actually fucking acts like one. Thank you very much. So Kobe died in a helicopter crash. That's the flavor of the week now. That's how it happens with news cycles. Every 2 weeks something happens and that's the talk of the town. And we got wave 1 is everyone going, oh my God, Kobe's dead. And then we got wave 2 and that's everyone's like, oh my God, there was so many other people in that helicopter. How can you not care? And then we got wave 3 that's like, oh my God, he was accused of rape like 20 years ago. Oh my, and then there's another wave after that was like, oh my God, you people were all focusing on this and we're all focusing on that. And then the next week, something else is going to happen, something stupid, like Trump took a shit on a sidewalk or something, and people are going to fucking care about that for 2 more fucking weeks. Instead of focusing on their own shit. It's like, it is. Like, I have nothing going on in my life. I'm going to post on social media about something that happened somewhere that I didn't fucking care about until this particular moment. And then they're going to fucking argue about it on fucking Twitter. Look up useful idiot. That's something you need to fucking educate yourself on. Because that's what you fucking are. They supplied all you is like bread and circuses, motherfucker. It's like they're taking all your fucking money through taxes, and they're just like, here, Kobe died. Go focus on that for a little while, you fucking dumbass pieces of shit. You know they don't teach kids in Japan about Pearl Harbor. If you go to the World War II History Museum in Japan, I think it's in Nagasaki or one of the 2 fucking places that we bombed. I think it was Nagasaki or Hiroshima. You go there, they have a timeline, and Pearl Harbor is not on that timeline. They don't teach the kids about Pearl Harbor in Japan. But I didn't know, growing up in school, that the reason they bombed Pearl Harbor was because we cut off their oil supply. Or at least that's what L.A. Noire told me. I haven't actually looked that shit up. But it just goes to show public education is fucking garbage. Thank you for tuning in to the Swagger Says program. If you like this video, rub your tummy and say, that was pretty good. That's a good video. I like that video. I will come back for more videos later. Say that to yourself while you're rubbing your tummy. And then if someone's in the room with you, they say, "What the fuck are you doing?" They say, "I don't know. I just do whatever the fuck I'm told because I'm a fucking sheep. I just fucking eat my own ass if they told me to because I'm fucking stupid."